Well, hello and welcome back to the Daily Brew, the devotional where every day we drink a new brew of coffee and we see what God is brewing for us in the Bible. Yes, it is cheesy, you're right, but it's true, and I'm glad that you're joining me back here in Auckland City for the last day of Tea Week. Personally, it's always a good day when Tea Week comes to an end. We have a super store-bought Super 7 store-bought bottle can, store-bought can or bottle. That's what we're doing. Yep. Just had to reread that 12 times. So very good. Great to have you here with me today. Day 84 of our 365-day Bible reading plan. If you're joining us for the first day, great to have you here with us. Head back to day number 1. Start again from the start. Come with us on the journey as we read the Bible in a whole year. Hey, speaking of reading the Bible, let's have a look at our scriptures that we're reading today. As always, they're in the descriptions on every platform, but I'll read them to you as well, just in case you missed them. So we're going to go to Proverbs today. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 1 to 11, Luke 5, 33 to 6, 11, and Numbers chapter 19, verse 1 to 21, verse 3. So those are our scriptures for today that we are reading. Make sure you get into those, devour them, and get into that. It'll be a blessing to your life. Before we go any further, though, into the Bible, let's talk brews. And today, you have noticed, if you're watching on YouTube, if you haven't noticed, because you're listening to it and you can't see it, today we have a Lipton peached iced tea. We have a Lipton peach iced tea, which I got on a huge iced tea buzz at the end of 2021, 2022. Jammed this stuff. Then I read how much sugar was in it. Tried the sugar-free, and while it's low in calories, it is not as low in sugar. 21 grams of sugar in each bottle of this, which is quite a lot of sugar, but it's very, very good. I do enjoy it. I'm going to try all the peached iced tea flavors I can find, all the Lipton iced tea flavors I can find and give them a go. But today, because it is a Super 7 store-bought can or bottle, and today is the end of Tea Week, I thought I'd just enjoy tea, a nice tea. If you have an iced tea that you think I should try, if you know of any iced teas that you can buy from the supermarket or the petrol station, or any specialties, feel free to let me know. Hit me up on social media at Harry Slade NZ, or in the comment section on YouTube. Let's give this a try though. Just open this up, give it a wee open. Lovely. Let's give it a sniff. I actually haven't had one of these for a good 6 months. Oh, let's take me back to the sweet tea. Let's give it a try. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I love it. Why do I love it? Because it tastes like peach. It says what it is. It does what it says. It's lovely. Full-bodied. Lovely feel in the mouth. The aftertaste that lingers is beautiful. It's probably, for me, the perfect iced tea. I've not had another iced tea that compares to the Lipton peach iced tea. Full sugar, low calorie. So that's what I think. Prove me wrong. I welcome you to prove me wrong. Send me a message on social media or hit me up on YouTube in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you think is a good iced tea. I will eventually get to all of them or try my very best to. In the years to come, obviously, we're doing this Bible plan for the first time round through, but in the years to come, you might still find some stuff. Let me know. I'd love to try it as well. That is it, though, for our brew for today. Let's get into the Bible, the reason that we are here. Jesus goes by many names. He has many titles. The whole Bible revolves around Jesus. If you haven't got yourself a copy of the Jesus Bible, I would encourage you to do it. It's actually what I use here as part of the set. I love reading this Bible because it takes the time to point out where Jesus is in the Bible. And in today's passages, we see 7 of the titles that Jesus has. Why is this important though? Because the titles that Jesus has helps us define who he is and what role he plays in our lives. So let's have a look at these today. The first one is the wisdom of God. Many people today have no idea how to live, no idea what the wise thing to do is. And what happens is we end up making a mess of our lives, a mess of our marriages, relationships, our personal management, and so on and so forth. This ultimately comes down to a lack of wisdom. So where do we find the wisdom that we need? Well, the New Testament leads us to Jesus. We see in 1 Corinthians 1:24 that Christ is called the wisdom of God. In Jesus, that's where we find our wisdom. If you want true wisdom, it starts with a relationship with Jesus. This is far more important than the wisdom the world has to offer, this relationship with Jesus and the wisdom that flows from it. This wisdom can be seen in the excellent speech in verses 6 to 9. Honest and truthful communication with words are righteous and true. This is a sign that we're living in and out of wisdom. These things are all a byproduct of our relationship with Jesus, and we're told that wisdom is highly desirable in this proverb. To choose the instruction instead of silver, knowledge over gold. To choose Jesus is to choose wisdom. So make that choice today, and make that choice every day. Choose Jesus, choose wisdom. The second thing that we know Jesus as is as the bridegroom. The image of Jesus as the bridegroom and us as the bride is arguably one of the greatest forms of intimacy that we can possibly have. A bride, that's us, with her bridegroom, that's Jesus. This concept is raised by Jesus in today's scripture. It's a reference to what God says in Isaiah 62 verse 5, when God says that he rejoices over us the same way as the bridegroom does over her bride. The bridegroom does over his bride. This is actually a reference that gets made a couple times through scripture. You can also see Ephesians 5:23 and Revelation 19:6 to 9. For the Israelites, this is a radical thought, especially for the religious minded, because this is a very relational approach. In fact, it's one of the most relationally minded approaches that you can make. It's a huge change over the religious stance that they had. Jesus is our bridegroom, and we are his bride. He is returning for us again, and he's interested in our hearts and well-being, not just our religious patterns and position. Another title that Jesus has is the Son of Man. And in Luke 6:5, which we looked at a few days ago, we see Jesus referring to himself as the Son of Man. This is again a reference to the Old Testament. Daniel 7:13 speaks of the one who is like the Son of Man. Jesus would have definitely drawn on this verse in Daniel for this title that he was using. The two things that get talked about, in today's passage in Luke are two things that man wrestles with: fasting and the Sabbath. These two things, Jesus, being the Son of Man, will have fasted and honored the Sabbath. So these two things are not foreign to Jesus. These are two things that are real, that are active, and that are part of Jesus's life as a man on the earth. Here, though, Jesus makes it clear that he is the Son of Man, but he's also the Lord of the Sabbath. We submit to his authority, obeying his teaching and following wherever he leads. The next thing that we see Jesus referred to is as Lord. Jesus redefines the Old Testament while here on earth. This is because he's the fulfillment of the law and the prophets, which is the Old Testament. And Jesus makes it clear that he is the Lord of the Sabbath. This is radical, but he makes this statement that he is the Lord, and as such, he is who we take our lead from when it comes to our faith and with our lives. When it comes to the law that the Pharisees try and trap him with, he looks behind the letter of the law and looks for the spirit of the law. That's relational leadership. That's radical leadership. The next thing that Jesus is referred to is a mediator. He is our mediator. In Numbers today, we read about the blood of goats and bulls and the phrase ashes of the heifer. This is all again a foreshadowing of Jesus, his death in our place on the cross. Jesus is our mediator. This idea is picked up again in the book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 14 to 15a. I want to read it to you so that you can see this in play, okay? So this is what it says. It'll come up on the screen as well on YouTube. It says, "How much more then will the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself unblemished to God, cleanse our consciences from acts that lead to death, so that we may serve the living God? For this reason, Christ is the mediator." Listen, friend, Jesus is our mediator. The next thing we see here is that he is our rock. We see today that the Israelites were in need of water. They're in a desert, okay? It's a dry place. But the people, they needed water. God tells Moses to strike the rock twice and water pours out for everyone to drink. Listen, the word that gets used in the scriptures today is gushed. It gushed. God is our rock, and from him we find everything that we need. It's not a stingy amount, it's a gushing. Water isn't meant to come from a rock. It's meant to come from the tap, right? That's where water comes from. But God, being our rock, this rock is a symbol of our provider. Material things cannot satisfy. like God can, and God does. This is more than natural water. The premise here is about our spiritual thirst. We can build our life on God, and in Him we find all we need. The last thing, and it's a little bit longer today, but it's the great high priest. Jesus is the great high priest. Again, we see this echoed in Hebrews 4:14, who lives forever to intercede for us. That's who He is, the great high priest. Today we read of the death of Aaron. Aaron, while he did the job of high priests, he died, right? It was all over. He did good, but he didn't do great because he died. In fact, all of the Levitical priesthood ended up dying because men die. That's what happens. Jesus, however, He lives forever. And you can be certain that Jesus will always intercede on our behalf. We can be totally confident in Jesus. He's not weak, but strong, consistent, and loving towards you. Verse of the day. Yes, verse of the day today, Proverbs 8:11 says, "For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her." Here's my question. How highly do you value wisdom? How precious?
My precious.
That's my little golem there.
My precious is filthy, dirty, Hubbard says.
It's not bad. It's actually not bad. It's not bad. We're not here for impressions. We're here for the Bible to be impressed on our hearts. Thank you so much for joining me today. That is the end of day 84. I pray God is speaking to you through these scriptures. Again, I'm getting slack. I'm stopping bringing my, I need to get back to bringing my Bible. I think Annalise put it somewhere. I need to figure out where she put it. Thank you, though. That is it for today. If you haven't done so already, follow and rate the podcast on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe, like this devotional video, and click the bell so you never miss a devotion. Follow me on Instagram. Come hang out. Would love to see you there as well, at Harry Slade NZ. Praying for you. Bless you. Tomorrow, we start coffee again. Praise the Lord. We're back on coffee. I will see you tomorrow for our first day of 3 weeks of uninterrupted coffee brew beautifulness. Thank you. Goodbye. We'll see you if it's the start of your day. Have a great rest of your day, unless it's sleep time. Good night. Sleep tight. And we'll see you tomorrow back here for another day. Day 85 with some coffee, people, on the Daily Brew. Let's go.